You know this truck, it's the F-150, and it's everywhere. That's because Ford sells billions of them, and they're just about everywhere you look. From a work truck to a luxury towing rig to an off-road performance plaything like the oh-so-menacing Ford Raptor, there's an F-150 for everyone, including this one. Now this doesn't look like anything much we haven't seen before because for this particular tester, the change and the big news is mostly under the hood, thanks to the recent deployment of the most fuel-efficient engine in the current F-150 lineup.
This is the latest F-150 engine, which makes 6 available power plants, including the 5-liter V8, the popular torque monster 3.5-liter EcoBoost, the Raptor spec version of that engine, the standard 3.3-liter V6, the 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6, which is my favorite, and now this, a 3-liter turbo diesel good for 250 horsepower and 440 pounds of torque. So a compact diesel engine here for the shopper after strong towing capability to over 11,000 pounds and a fuel economy advantage enabled by this engine and the 10-speed automatic attached to it.
We've driven F-150 several times in recent years, and other than a bit of a cosmetic update to the grille and tailgate and body, and some new features and tech and touches for the cabin and driveline, this is the same deal. There have been tweaks and optimizations, but much of what you see here is characteristic of this generation of Ford's big-selling pickup. I'll give you the gist so that we can focus on the new Powerstroke turbo diesel engine. F-150 is enormous, comfortable, very high-tech on board, though a little overwhelming with all of the buttons and graphics and the very busy instrument cluster. Outward visibility is excellent by pickup standards. The rear seating quarters in this one are very roomy. Those seats can be flipped up to turn it into a little bit of a cargo van or a mobile canine lounge. And up front, this central command system is one of the best in the game, period. Fast, responsive, and great graphics. Just plan to spend a little time getting the hang of it. And you'll probably love how this truck looks, how it feels on almost any surface, and how big and useful and easy to use it is. And you still get all of those innovative features that you know and love, like the kick-out and power-deployable side steps, or the tailgate step system so you can easily get up into the box to do truck guy things. My only major complaint of this generation F-150, this tester included, is the steering. On the highway it's too light and vague for me, feels a little bit like it's made of runny custard. This makes it a bit of work to keep this hulking thing centered between the lines with precision, and that's complicated by the fact that it's about as wide as a highway lane. But at speed it is comfy, fairly quiet, and a relaxing place to be if you'll use your pickup to unwind on the open road. Just note that the suspension in this off-road oriented FX4 tester can get fairly busy and jarring on rougher roads in exchange for how durable and solid it feels over rougher terrain.
So, how is this diesel? Well, actually it's a little bit hard to say because this new engine is the strong and silent type. Remember this thing? That's the Discovery Diesel from Land Rover, and when I drove it last year I told you that it was one of the smoothest and quietest engines I'd ever driven, diesel or otherwise. And this engine is heavily based on that one. It was sort of a joint venture, and here Ford's made a lot of changes and optimizations for use in a pickup truck, but the character remains the same. So to put it simply, here's a hard-working pickup with an engine that literally wouldn't feel out of place in a 90 grand luxury SUV.
Let's fire it up. Barely even a peep. Recently, modern diesels became impressive when they didn't clatter and rattle like a blender full of loose change or smell like a tire fire. Today, things have advanced even further. This engine is not only refined and relaxed and doesn't barf out soot, it's also so quiet and smooth that you almost never even know it's there. It even starts up instantly, where most modern diesels take 2 or 3 seconds to get started from dead cold. It's all a great example of where diesel engines are going, compromise-free and virtually undetectable from the driver's seat. So there's not really a whole lot to tell you about how this engine is different from the gas engines in the lineup, and if memory serves, this diesel might even be the smoothest and quietest F-150 power plant you can order. That's a good thing given its price tag, more on that in a bit. Performance is pleasing. The gasoline-powered 3.5-liter EcoBoost is still the highest performing engine in the lineup by the numbers, But the new turbo diesel still gives you a mountain of torque from just off idle, smooth and linear pull up the fairly short rev range, and that slick new 10-speed automatic means gear shifts are small, smooth, and virtually invisible, though on a few occasions I did experience the odd rough shift. Drive gently and you've got low-end torque to spare, virtually no noise or detectable vibration, and really good fuel mileage too. Though the big EcoBoost is more powerful and several $1,000s cheaper, with this diesel you're investing in long-term fuel savings. Now, my tester is standard with the 5-liter non-turbo V8, and opting for the diesel here costs about $5,700, but means that you'll save about $5 on fuel for every 100 kilometers that you drive, and even more if a lot of that driving involves towing, where there's less of a fuel economy hit from the diesel engine. So by my math, it could feasibly start putting money back in your pocket after about 115,000 kilometers. Shoppers demand selection to help them get the exact truck for their needs and tastes and lifestyle, and if you're someone who frequently does long-distance drives with a trailer or some heavy payload, this engine may wind up paying for itself easily. Or put another way, here, you're getting a boatload more torque and many more miles per tank from your fuel dollar. Just do the math to see if the diesel power is worth the extra cost for you. And if the power stroke is right for you, you'll be happily at the controls of one of the industry's best diesel engines yet, in one of the industry's most sought-after pickups. Thanks for watching.